And then we have these garden boxes here, and we have 3 beds. One's got wheatgrass in it as a winter cover, and then we have this one's got some chickweed kind of covering for now. So the 3rd bed over there is just laying dormant for the winter. Yes, these are our 3 beds in our boxes, and soon we're hoping to incorporate more beds towards the back of the house and possibly more up front, with our livestock being able to get to them too.
Livestock?
Yes, the chickens.
Okay.
And hopefully very soon goats.
Can you have goats?
We can. We have to go through some weird holes, but we found ways to get goats. We'll have to have one per address, but since this building actually has 3 addresses, that's okay.
Really?
Mm-hmm. We also have perennials.
Tomatoes or cucumbers or?
Last summer we had corn, tomatoes, peppers. Gary can tell you better. I wasn't living here in the summer.
Yeah. One of the things we did was corn bean squash combo, which is really cool because the corn grows up tall. The beans then can grow on the corn, use it as the post that you'd normally want to grow beans on. And then the squash is a ground cover, and so they all occupy sort of the same space but different levels almost. The beans fix the nitrogen for the corn because the corn needs a lot of nitrogen. The squash ends up covering and retaining heat and water for both the beans and the corn. So that's what we had here last year. A lot of those are the plants for we had a lot of peppers, mainly habaneros. They're not perennials, but they're not annuals either. They usually have a 2 to 3 year sort of lifespan. So that's why the plants are sitting there right now. That was their first year, so they should be back next year. And then we have a lot of parsley, which helps with cooking.
So
right now we have winter strawberries at the top one, just sort of covering that. And then we had petunias as sort of a pest repellent.
Yeah, and the group that was doing Solid Air with them was mostly IWW stuff, but they branch out everywhere. But yes, these are our chickens. There's actually 3 more in this house. They just got in there yesterday because we have a neighbor who just brought us 3 chickens that were kind of they had gotten them and they didn't want them and they couldn't keep them. So this was built yesterday by me, just to put them in for now, and later on today we're going to go get pin making material because they're not mixing very well. We're going to build a second pin that connects so they can see each other, and then we're going to start reintroducing them to each other. And eventually this pin is going to be rebuilt in the next month or so, hopefully. It's going to go down to that fence and then all the way back to that red building. And this will all be chickens in here. And we'll have all 9 of them flourishing, which will be nice. And then immediately off of that, when we get our goat, we're going to put the goat pin back there and probably reorient the compost to them. Which should be pretty good. Yeah, the chickens have been great animals to have. They give eggs, they're pretty friendly, don't eat too much, they're pretty low maintenance. And they give us great compost, and we can feed them our compost to make it into more useful compost.
How often do you get eggs from them?
Daily. The winter they're significantly less, but every day we get 3 or so.
How do you deal with the freezing temperatures?
Well, what we do is we insulate the coop really heavily with hay and leaves inside there, and what they do is naturally the pack of chickens will huddle in that, and they do fine. They're really naturally adapted to dealing with that. They just all huddle.
Now, do you have to deal with it every day, or could you have a chicken and go on vacation?
You do have to feed them pretty much every day or every other day. You need somebody to come by at least feed and water your chickens. But beyond feeding and watering them, you don't have to do a lot. You have to sweep out the coop every week or so. Sometimes 2 weeks of poop.